at the Amway Center in beautiful Orlando, Florida. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Checked in for Oladipo. And a switcher also for Detroit. Augustine's checked in.
A theme that has unfortunately come up for this Orlando franchise is their inability to keep a franchise talent for long. Of course, you think both about Shaq and Dwight Howard and their exits.
On the court for the Pistons, Monroe and Drummond there inside. DJ Augustine out there with Jody Meeks, and it's Smith in at the 3. Price is checked in for Detroit.
Looking at the Pistons, Kevin, let's see how they performed over the last month in the NBA League rankings. Second in opponent points per game. 5th in fewest turnovers per game. And as far as interior defense goes, not going too well for them. Bottom third of the NBA in blocks.
Yeah, those are all good points, Clark. And to me, the one that stands out, the one statistic that you mentioned is the opponent's points per game, because this team obviously gets after it defensively. They just try to blanket the opposing offense, and they do it because they scout well. You can tell they're well prepared for each and every offense that they face on a nightly basis.
And about Orlando and their stars, is it better, Clark, to have had stars and lost them, or to never have had stars at all on the team?
Well, it's a different kind of heartache, that's for sure. I think you'd rather have them and lose them than not to have them at all. But Orlando has seen a lot of success for how long they've been a franchise. They'd like to be able, though, looking ahead, to keep that next star that's wearing a Magic uniform right now.
Payton kicks to Gordon. Gordon with it. 8 points his last outing. Shot clock at 5. Passes it to Vucevic. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Nikola Vucevic possessing prototype size for the center position. 7 foot tall, has about a 9.5 foot standing reach. Even without great leaping ability, he can play over the top of a lot of opponents.
Luke Ridenour is checked in for Orlando. And you mentioned Vucevic, not a top athlete. The Magic working to develop his lateral quickness, Clark, and explosiveness.
Yeah, he still struggles to defend guys in the pick-and-roll situations, Kevin. He's not that fast of foot. That's where the Magic are trying to help him grow. But he's a double-double guy because of his rebounding ability, and he's got a nice touch for a big guy.
Vucevic, a screen on Drummond. Harkless kicks to Vucevic. Detroit with the rebound. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And that game, guys, was really a perfect example of how important your bench can be. I thought the reserve production was really the key.
Exactly. That was where a lot of their scoring came from. It was a big game for the backups.
From 13, Drummond with the block and the basket by Gordon.
I'll tell you what, if there's success on the boards in this first quarter is any indication, it's going to be a good day.
And rebounds usually are a good indicator.
Here's Price. Here's Drummond. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some...
You better than that.
Not tonight, I'm not.
This is checked in for Vucevic. And a switcher also for Detroit. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Price. A lot of questions about some changes. Vucevic checked in for Gordon. And it's Payton in for Ben Gordon. And a different look here for the Pistons. Smith checked in for Andre Drummond. Singler comes in for Butler. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And it's Price in for Augustine. On the floor for Detroit, Price, he's in at point guard. Meeks and Singler at the 2 and 3. Smith out there at Greg Monroe. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Thank you, Kevin. Elfrid Payton has some very noticeable hair on the floor. He said the story behind it is as follows. Me and my teammates in high school agreed we wouldn't cut our hair the entire season until we won a state championship. We wound up losing in the semifinals, but I liked what it was doing and just let it keep growing and growing. Guys, will it ever end?
We'll see if it does. Thanks, Doris. Here's Price. It's blocked, and they get it back. From deep. Price can't get that one to fall. Magic leading by 5. Pass to Oladipo. Smith with the defensive effort.
And with Drummond, I think he has such versatility and is really a amazingly consistent player in how he plays. I think he could tandem and partner up with any other big guy and be effective. The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
The Magic have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Payton against Price. It's Oladipo on the wing. Back to Payton. And stolen by Price. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And now we'll look at who's been leading the NBA in rebounding since the All-Star break. Third is Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah, he's been rebounding the ball so well since the break. It's really paying off for him and his team.
And the Pistons making a change here. Jennings is checked in. Orlando leading. Payton drives in. Vucevic trying to get open. Payton, good. Payton's got 6. Detroit's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Singler left side. The dish to Monroe. It's stolen by Vucevic. Harkless the pass to Oladipo. And he gets it to go. And it's a 5-point Magic lead.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
Jennings dishes to Price from about 19 feet. Kept alive. Monroe tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup. Monroe's got 4 this quarter.
Did you see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket?
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Tobias Harris, a combo forward, originally drafted by the Bucks out of Tennessee. I love his game. He does a little bit of everything and does it all well. He can handle. He shoots it a bit from outside. Not sure what his best position is going forward, but he's a quality player.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
And Singler kicks to Drummond. Price outside. 6 on the shot clock. Price can't get that one to fall. Magic leading by 3. Here's Harkless, and the shot is good.
Now they've settled into a pretty nice groove here offensively in the second quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they've picked up the pace shooting the ball. I mean, the field goal percentage upwards of 50% now.
Here's Price. Orlando grabs the miss. Vucevic has got his 5th rebound in this one. Payton outside, feeds to Harris. Harris setting the pick for Harkless. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 6 rebounds in the game. Now Singler, a former second-round pick out of Duke, played his first professional season overseas in Spain. And Stevie's played consistent minutes for the Pistons to begin his NBA career.
Yeah, really a nice move on his part to get that development abroad because he came back a better player and he's quickly become a solid contributor at the NBA level.
Only way to get out of the slump is to keep shooting.
He's not a bad defender at 6'8" either, so I like what he gives you.
There's a minute left in the first half. Jennings against Ridnour. And there's the pass to Gordon. The feed to Vucevic. Kicks it to Ridnour. Orlando moving the ball around. Here's Gordon. Banked in off the glass. Gordon's got the lead up to 5 now for Orlando.
Singler, not a big time.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter.
All right, fellas, still anyone's ball game right now. A few things from the first half. First of all, a big nod to how well we've taken care of the basketball. We're not taking any unnecessary chances, and that's meant very few turnovers. Something we're going to need if we're going to win this game are second chance points. And so far, that's the one thing that we've been getting. Keep hitting the offensive boards hard. And I want us pounding the offensive glass in this half. If that means sacrificing...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Greg Monroe with a strong contribution. Pistons trail by 3. Jennings kicks the bucket. Here's Meeks. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Monroe. Nice follow through on the fadeaway. Monroe's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Pistons. A different look here for Detroit. Smith comes in for Caron Butler. And it's Price in for Jody Meeks. Payton kicks to Gordon. Harris against Monroe. Harris passes to Payton. No good. Good work defensively by Monroe. And here we go with Brandon Jennings, averaging 12 points a game. Price. The shot's good on the assist by Jennings.
Price.
And the Pistons lead by 1. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, very competitive action. I agree with you, Clark. I mean, this one could come down in the last few minutes the way it looks.
Clock at 6. Here's Oladipo. Rebounded by Greg Monroe. Monroe's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. It's back to Jennings. Here's Price. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And now a 3-point Piston lead.
Nothing but money for them to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
Payton dishes to Vucevic. Back to Payton. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Payton's got 8 points.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by who controls the paint in crunch time.
Price against Oladipo. High post shot. And again, another shot trained there from Price. Price has got his 3rd bucket of the night. The Magic trail by 3. Payton kicks to Vucevic. Payton with the ball, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Harris a screen on Jennings. Dishes to Harris. A terrific shot on a turnaround. He has 6. The Pistons have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the 3rd quarter. Fires top of the key. And there's Price. That's good on the assist by Jennings. 10 points for the waiter.
Something happened at halftime because they seem to have left their defensive effort in the locker room. Brandon Jennings, you remember, decided to play a year in Italy right out of high school rather than to go to college. He was the first guy to do that once the NBA implemented that 1 year out of high school requirement for the draft.
Harris misses.
That's just tremendous. You'd love to see a smaller player who can mix it up inside and handle himself in the paint area.
Here's Price. And that one comes up a bit short.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
Pass to Harris. Payton outside. He feeds it to Oladipo. 6 to shoot. Can't get it to go. And the Pistons now going the other way. Their last encounter was in Detroit.
And the early foul trouble they got themselves into the last meeting between these two clubs really kind of threw off their whole game, and they never could recover. That was a bad loss.
Here's Price. Here's Monroe. A stupendous finish in traffic. Monroe's got the lead up to 5 now for the Pistons.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
And Steve said it just then. It was an ugly performance for them in that previous game. Would you agree that foul trouble was the big factor, Clark?
Well, Kevin, certainly it was one of the factors. I mean, they could have used more minutes from their starters, but there were a lot of things that didn't go well in that game.
And that's an air ball. Not even close. The Magic have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Josh Smith.
Well, one more in that.
Good work. Good work.
Oh, yeah, man.
Of that last disqualifying foul.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Vucevic. Gordon comes in for Oladipo. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Payton. Detroit also making some changes. Caron Butler is checked in for Monroe. Jody Meeks comes in for Price. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Orlando shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Well, this is a kind of a mediocre free throw shooting team. They're sitting there at about 73% as a unit.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
The first free throw is good. And both free throws good for Gordon. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin. Its speed bumps, if you will. Some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
Here's Harris. No good off the back of the rim.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Drummond passes to Butler. Back to Drummond. Poked away and stolen by Harris. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's Harkless. Shot is blocked. Here's Meeks. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Augustine dishes to Smith. He kicks to Augustine. Tries it from 19. No good. The third quarter comes to a close. Pistons ahead as they wrap up the third quarter on a 14-6 run. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next.
We get closer and closer to the playoffs. Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons go up against Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, it had to be this play, don't you think, Kevin? Sure. This is just a phenomenal pass. Made the defense look like they had no idea what was going on.
What precision with that pass.
Beautiful.
Here's Augustine. And so it's the Pistons who come out on top here. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coach is happy with the outcome. This team kept their emotions in check and got it done.
So that'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
hope you're watching game film on that thing.
Huh? Why? Something wrong?
No, everything's fine, but,
Hey, spill it, Windbag. Whenever you can't speak, I know there's something up.
It's nothing. It's just, well, you know those guys who sell phone accessories at those kiosks in the mall? Bejeweled cases, chargers, headphones, like that?
Yeah?
And my uncle owns a string of those. Long Island, Brooklyn, Trenton. I used to work at them in the summer.
Okay, what they got to do with me?
If you don't sign a bigger contract in the off-season, I'm gonna be working at one of those kiosks. I don't want to work at a kiosk.
But I'm doing all right?
Yeah, you're doing fine. I talked to a couple of clubs who might like to sign you. I just think that maybe you could step it up for a bit for the rest of the season. You know, the better you play, the more options you have.
Hey, don't even worry, man. I'm a ball. I got you. Ain't none of us about to work at no kiosk. Kiosk.